Ready for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the roll call show that all are present. And we do have a quorum. Those of you that would like to join me in prayer. Oh Lord, creator of all that we have here, please give us guidance on the actions we're going to be doing for the town of Shoshoni today. Bless all of our town employees that we have that have been working so hard and sometimes receive little thanks. But my thoughts are with our many employees that's doing so much for our town. And we people if you're listening, have a chance, tell them what a good job we're doing. In your name I ask, Lord. Amen. Approval of the agenda.
We approve the agenda.
It's been moved by Councilman Zent that we approve the agenda. Can I have a second? Been seconded by Councilwoman Hartke. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Any communications from citizens?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some great news for you. I talked to the commanding officer over the VFW in Riverton, and he said that they were all for the opening, having the opening of the Shoshoni city events here. So I'm proud to announce that. And as soon as we get the shirts and the hats that are coming in, we're good to go.
That's great news.
So, yeah, exactly. So I think tomorrow or sometime this week, I'll go down to the office and see if I can get a list of what time and when and what events are occurring. And I'll go over and submit it to the VFW members and we'll go from there.
Well, like I said, I appreciate you doing that. That's a good thing. We have quite a few veterans in Shoshoni.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, we do.
Proud to do it. It's my honor to do it. So
we're very thankful of all the veterans, so the time you've given in your life to help our country and defend us and be what you're doing. But
cool. Thank you, sir.
A lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for your support. And it really means a lot. So, but I'll keep you informed of what's going on.
You bet. Appreciate you coming to our meetings. Any other communications, anything online? Non being consent agenda. Can I have approval of the minutes, June 25th, 2024?
Move we approve the minutes of June 25th, 2024.
Been moved by Councilman Steller. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Hartke. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed the same. Motion passed, all the affirmative. Approval of the bills, June 26, 2024 to July 9th, 2024. A motion to approve.
Move we approve the bills June 26, 2024 to July 9th, 2024.
Moved by Councilman Stetler that we approve the bills.
I'll second.
And second by Councilman Hart, to we approve the bill June 26, 2024 to July 9, 2024. Further discussion.
I need to abstain from voting on check number 22763.
22763.
Yes.
Any other discussion?
Let's talk about the roof placement down the east end of town from rink. Is that what that reconstruction bill is for?
Yes, sir, that's the gas grill that was installed and the roof overhang.
Okay, so I was thinking it was the one on the east end of town, that
no.
roof.
Yeah, that one, no, that's a different one. That
Okay,
one-
so that was, so I just wanted to make sure which one we're talking about.
That would be that,
Okay,
At the town plaza.
down was, yes.
well, it just says roof and I'm, we're talking
Okay.
about both of them.
Lots of roofs.
We got a lot, we got a lot of.
Unfortunately, that description is very small, so it sometimes requires a little more explanation, so.
That's why I asked about it, just to know which one it was.
Any further discussion? So let's vote on the,
If he just abstained from all of them, it would probably.
that would
pass.
simplify.
Just a thought, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad I thought of that, Councilman. So. Can approval of the bills, June 26, 2024 to July 9, 2024. Noted
Then Joe
that,
has to sit in too, 'cause he's
that
gonna
Councilman
check on
Demick is abstaining from vote. So,
it. Joe has a check on 22784.
oh, we got mileage checks in there,
That was a Home Depot reimbursement.
pardon?
Home Depot reimbursement is what I read it as.
When you went to get the stuff. received.
Yes.
Travel.
Travel.
Oh, travel.
We still have a quorum, those two can be quiet and go from there.
Well, I'll abstain from what that still leaves them, we still have a quorum. I'll abstain from vote for the checks to me. So, all in favor, noted that Mayor Highsmith is abstaining and Councilman Demick is abstaining from vote. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Sealed bid opening, we have 3 bids. I want to note that we had one bid come in as advertised on time. The other 2 bids came in past the deadline. What I'm gonna suggest, we seal the bid, the first bid that came in, on time. We look at that. If we accept the bid, we do not even open. I would suggest I don't think we should even open the other 2. If we do not accept this bid, then we go on, this will be rejected. We have these other bids. I suggest that we go ahead and look at them and consider them. So
So this is for the trails.
this, this is for the.
On Idaho.
No, 6th in Idaho, 5th in Idaho, the property we have for sale. But we only have 1 bid that came in on time. We had 2 bids that came in late.
I don't think we can we legally accept bids that came in after the
No,
cutoff?
I'm saying we look at this one, we accept it or reject it
And then we would
without
have-
even looking at
Right,
these.
and then we'd have to re-advertise, I would.
No,
think.
I think we can look at these and accept, and they're here and accept or reject.
It's a public hearing, so it's announced for that, so I don't know. Mark thinks something different, but having the public hearing, is arbitrary time and date that we set the deadline to be. I don't know if that has any factor in it or not.
You receive, so I guess I'd have to see the advertisement.
It says that the deadline for applications to be on town hall would be yesterday by 5 p.m.
Okay,
But the public hearing and the advertisement was noted.
To be-
Advertised to be today as a public hearing for opening.
Yeah,
The state just did it.
I guess the big question too is, were they sent in by mail or were they hand delivered late?
Yes. They turned them into Kim.
Right,
We received one yesterday, then two came in today.
People are tired from the weekend.
Yeah, long weekend. So they're all sealed, so.
yeah, yeah, I don't know, I would suggest you either play it where you open them all, because they made it by the time of the hearing, or you stick to the deadline that was in the advertisement. Strictly. Of the mindset that if it's put in there as this. You have a deadline and you read it, and it's, you're a strict constructionist and you follow it.
Yeah, the state just had someone a week late on the rifle shooting complex, and they took it.
Right, and that was,
And it was advertised. It was.
Make it right.
So I'm thinking this one's on time.
my point is, I would suggest either
Either
by
or.
the hearing date, because it was advertised and you open them all, and treat everybody the same, or you're a strict constructionist and it's by the deadline.
But if we look at this and decline this bid. If we accept, what I'm saying, if we accept it, I think it was here on time, so I think on its merit, if it's on time and it's at a price, even if the others, they could be higher or lower, have no idea. I kind of feel we should, this one is here on time.
Right, then my point being is either take the one that's on time and decide. And you don't, and you ignore the other two, where you look at them all.
But do you feel that we do be Marshall, that we'd be doing something illegal if we open and consider. If this is declined, if we accept this one, this is it, but if we decline this. And these are here
Yeah,
for our open meeting, where we could open sealed bid.
I think you're gonna have to consider them all or reject the two that were
This
late.
is consider them all.
Can I get a motion
I'll
for
make a
that?
motion.
My bid, so I can't.
I move we go into
I'm
a
on.
public hearing.
Okay, let's go into a public.
I'll second it. Who moved that?
I did.
Been moved by Councilman Zan, second by Councilman or Councilwoman. Hard key that we go into a public hearing. Discussion. My discussion would be, we haven't made a decision whether we're gonna accept all three before we go into the public hearing.
We can decide that right now in the public hearing.
We,
Can't take action during a public hearing, I don't believe.
I'm gonna ask with Marshall, if we can make that decision to go in public. In an open meeting, can we make a decision to accept all three?
Yeah,
Or do we need
I
to
mean,
do
that's
that?
what
in
I-
a meeting? That was my question.
right, that's what a hearing is for, I mean, your public hearing. then you
So we
have
can
some
agree,
sort of
okay.
hearing, Make a decision on what action you're gonna take, and then get out of the hearing, and then take
Okay.
that action.
I'm just wanting to make sure we're
Yeah.
doing it right, that's all I'm doing. Okay. So it's been moved to second, going into a public hearing, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed the same, motion passed on the affirmative. It is, what, 7:14, 50, yeah. We are now in our public hearing. So we do have, three. So open all three,
Open all three.
open all three.
I'm gonna move, just take the one that was on time.
I second that. It's a deadline.
Anything like,
My bid.
well, it doesn't matter because
No,
whose bid it is. We're saying
Yeah, we got.
Then I would,
Okay, my question would be, before we make this, this one's on time. Then we would have to go through another marshal. We'd have to advertise the whole thing. We can't, you're saying we can, unless we accept it now, we can't open these two up and.
Yeah, my advice would be you either stick with the deadline
Sure.
and reject the other two completely, or you review all three bids. Those would be the only two choices. I wouldn't play around with opening one, deciding whether you're gonna
Okay.
take it or not, and then open the other two. I mean, you're either look at all three or you just look at the one that showed up on top.
So,
I'm all for as many bids as we can get, but what kind of message are we
no,
sending?
no, I agree.
If
This
we
one,
don't stick to the advertised deadline.
I wanna follow council's agreement, but I thought my approach, I just seen the state do it. That don't mean it's right.
Right,
That don't mean it's right, you know, and it wasn't, they were in time for the meeting, but, there again, that's why I would departmentize it to look at this one, and if it was good, I wouldn't even look at the other.
Yeah,
Even they could be more, but I wouldn't. So I thought I was threading the needle, but if you say that we shouldn't do that, I'm gonna pay attention to my attorney, our attorney.
yeah, I think you're either gonna decide
But-
that everything's on time because it made it here by the time for the hearing, or the other two didn't, you're gonna follow the deadline. That's the paper that you.
Our deadline was this, so
What's your thoughts there, Tammy?
I think we're probably,
What's your thoughts?
Guy, I was saying this.
You have a
I
bid
do.
in there?
no, you know, Tammy, I'm just thinking. I'd like to look at the other, but our attorney's telling us we shouldn't. So my argument I thought made sense, but it may not be right. You know, I just seen what the state did. But this one was on time, so if we reject this one, then we just have to advertise again,
Yes.
correct? So. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We agreement on that? So I'll go ahead and open this one,
Okay.
and I will not open the other two. We do have the offer of $33,400. Now, as described, block 5, lots 1 through 6, located 109 East Fifth Street, and now $33,000. Anybody's thoughts on that offer?
Does that include as is or without shopping?
I'm assuming the shop is on those lots. I'm assuming that includes the shop. That shops are located on that, on that property. I'm assuming. You know, we're not offering any warranties.
What?
That's how much you want.
Yeah, what did that appraise at?
It appraised a couple years ago, 60,000 was with the lots only without, the shop wasn't on it. Cause at the time we were trying to sell just the land. And without the shop, we were gonna move the shop to our area for, we could use but we haven't been able to find a way to move the darn shop was the issue. So, you know, our town maintenance people, public works wanted to retain the shop. And I had a mover come say he could move it and it was gonna be reasonable, but it never happened. So this, and could I believe we voted on this in council to decide to sell this. With no economic development involved with it, just to sell it. Yeah. It's, I'm sure the appraisal would be closer to $80,000 with the shop. I'm just guessing. I know it cost $100,000 to build it. That's a 40 by 50 shop.
But is it gonna pay off for us to sell it now and make money on the backside? Taxes and everything else.
My personal opinion, I think we can sell it for substantially.
We've been sitting here holding it for how long?
We've never tried this like this before.
We had a woman before that offered 80,000 and you refused her.
because it was tied to economic development. Dave can probably address that, the difficulty on trying to.
Yeah, that was the problem, is the money.
Could you please step up to the microphone? Introduce yourself, excuse me, thank you.
The money would be leveraged so much more with economic development. That's why the resistance on taking the top market price. Somebody just wanted to pull their trailer in and get it out of the weather was not much benefit to Shoshoni. And Joe held pretty firm on trying to get the grant matching money from the state by keeping it in the economic development model. And we've had maybe 2-3 people that have considered an economic development design, but only 1 or 2 have even put anything in writing and suggested it and accepted our guidance on that. So it's been a real slow sale.
So that was the reasoning we voted in council to go ahead and sell it to the highest bidder.
In economic development would play in if that was a bid that was considered. So since we got 1 bid, we don't get to see if any are in there. So that's where we are currently.
Thank you. Question I have is, since you're the one bid, Councilman Demick, I guess I'll call you Mike since you're. But what, do you have plans for that property that you can disclose?
I suppose. I only say that as far as I don't know if I should step down from this position, go to the podium and speak from behalf of just my own self versus the council member who I will abstain from vote, of course, but.
I guess I was addressing the question to you as the highest bidder.
So as the highest bidder, so our intent, we have a couple different, we currently have two man camps that we purchased with the intent to use for company housing here in Shoshoni. So that we actually bought 3, but I don't know the other one. Doesn't matter, but we have them here. They're currently in Shoshoni. So we bought those at the beginning of spring with the intent to bring workers out of Utah to work through summer and fall for us. The lots that we'd originally intended, we didn't think were going to work for the said structures as a temporary, except it's not a permanent fixture, but they're skid mounted. They're 14-foot by 53-foot long, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So we needed the lots to provide a spot for a couple of those. Regarding the shop, there is a need for the water that it provides. At our facility outside of town, we do not have a well, we don't have city water. So that was the first intrigue as far as using it as a shop for what it is, and being able to have water there for some of our various activities that we could utilize water for. Revamp the shop. I never walked in the shop. I walked around it to see the exterior of it. I think there's I'd like it to look nicer. I'd like the property to look nicer, at least from the get-go. Like David mentioned, we had expressed interest in economic development a year or so ago on it. building materials were what they were. Things have relaxed a little bit. We have some interest in doing some housing here in town. That was part of the affordable lots, creates a opening to pay more for material or labor. But that was it. That was our initial plan with that. So let it sit vacant and rot? No, that seems silly to me. Enhance it piece by piece. Yes, that seemed the way to go. Utilizing the shop, you never know until you pay to play. Maybe something else comes along. Maybe someone wants to rent it. Don't know. But as far as we have a need for our own selves, and if something else seems more economically feasible in the process, then so be it. But it's not about just sitting idle.
I feel we need to reject this bid. I think we put it out again and see what bids what we got coming in. This is substantially low. I think we'll get bids considerably higher than this in the very near future. I would suggest we put it out for bid again at and advertise it. Discussion, the shop is on the lot also. And then see what we got in 3 weeks.
I move we leave, public hearing. Go back in the regular session and discuss this.
Second,
Been moved by Councilman Zant, second by Councilman Harkey, that we go back into a general section at 7:27 or 6.
If we're in public
So we're back in.
hearing, should we open it up for public comment?
Sure.
I mean.
Yes, if we got some comment, yes, please.
We did
do.
not open up public. hearing.
Right, yes. Then we got some public comment.
Just my own comments.
Nothing online. Okay. No more public comment, so let's end public comment, go back into regular session. What, 7:28? 27.
Folks.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all the same. Can I have a motion to accept or reject the one bid that we have?
I move we accept the bid of 33,400 for 6 lots on Idaho, or not on Idaho. That's what, Wyoming?
No,
Idaho.
it's East Fifth Street, the address,
East Fifth.
109 East Fifth Street. And I have a second.
I'll second it.
Been moved in second, moved by Councilman Zett, second by Councilman Hart to accept the offer of 33,400. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same?
Aye.
Aye. Motion did not pass.
I'm
Can I ask a
all for
question
moving
now
it.
that we're there?
What?
Can I ask a question
I'm all
to
for
the
moving it,
council?
but it's like a third of the.
Mhm. So to rebid this, so this would be for public everything. I think we advertised that this was going to be sold to the highest bidder, which we just did not do. The bid, the way the bid read is said that the estimated value was 60,000. That's the knowledge that was given to anybody who wanted to bid on it. The bid that was received was in excess of 50% of the appraised value on it. So that being said, to redo this again, and it's set out on bid for three or 4 weeks, and it's been for sale for 2 years. So to rebid this again, we feel like you need to change the wording in the,
We
Advertising.
intend to.
so I think it also brings up it was supposed to sell to the highest bidder.
No, it was not.
We- And the appraised value was 60,000.
That's what the lots price was. That was the last.
That's what the advertisement
Yeah.
said. So. Like I said, it's I don't want this to be about me as the bidder. I want this to be me as the council member saying, this is gonna go back out again. And I think it needs to be disclosed that we're gonna reject or accept bids, not receive it or not accept the highest bid, because we didn't. And you need to figure out what the valuation is. And advertise that fairly. Just my 2 cents on it.
So noted. Uh, going down to appearances, citizen, public presentation, SRO, Jeff. How do you pronounce your last name? Gillette. It's Gillette, that's what I wanted to say, but I thought I could be wrong. SRO, oath of office.
Color coded for you.
Thank you.
I'll just briefly, I just wanted to introduce Jeff Gillette. He comes to us from most recently the Robeson Police Department, formerly the Fremont County Sheriff's Office. We've been law enforcement for 14 years. 14 years. Very highly recommended from his peers, as well as very impressive performance during the selection process. And we got three kids? 3 kids, yeah. So we'll be getting 3 new kids, hopefully, coming to Shoshoni schools. So kind of a package deal. With that, over there.
Yeah, well. Repeat after me, Jeff. I state your name.
I, Jeff Gillette,
Do solemnly swear that I will support,
do solemnly swear I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
that I have not knowingly
that I have not knowingly
violated any law
violated any law
relating to my election or appointment,
related to my election or appointment,
or caused it to be done
or caused it to be done
by others,
by others,
and that I will
and that I will
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
This is the 7th day of July 2022. Ninth day. That's it. Congratulations, young man. It's good to have you aboard. And I'd like, comment that you went through a very vigorous investigation, everything to be hard on an SRO. That involved both the school district and our police department. You're vetted and was chosen another call. It's really good to have you. Fine, and welcome to our community. And it's just wife.
And my wife Danielle Gillette.
So she and that. Hopefully run through his check.
Draw first blood.
Hopefully only. What are you talking about?
Very good, thank you. Uh. Police report?
Well, I finally formally got to meet, our SRO, Jeff Gillette. Really excited to have him aboard. He's been working around for the last 2 weeks. He did, attend training in Billings for an SRO. And his future training is gonna become to be a CPR instructor, driver's ed teacher, probably home ec cook or something. But he will be in the school starting next week and starting to learn how to facilitate the role as an SRO. And we have a lot of, I guess, luck in that Cody Myers, the former SRO, is going to has agreed to help out and show him the ropes and try and help him navigate the school and make it his own. So at least he's not going into it without a little bit of guidance. So very excited for that. I'm sure Jeff's excited to get back on in the school and get off the patrol for a little bit, but you will see him every once in a while out patrolling around Shoshoni. Most likely in the summertime, but predominantly he'll be in the school. So if you see him in fast lane or whatever, just hope anyone says hi and make him welcome. We had kind of a busy June. Our call volume for the town, I did provide the 2 different sheets. One's for Shoshoni's specifically, the other is for the assistance we provided to RPD. And Shoshone, our call volume was up 36% month over month last year. And we're currently 52% overall this year to date. Seen a lot more alcohol involved incidents, thefts. And just summer. People kind of like to let loose a little bit, and unfortunately, sometimes they get a little too crazy. The one thing that was kind of odd was the amount of warrants we came across. We had 6 that we had just in 1 month in Shoshone, which was kind of high, I thought. But I guess more and more people are getting out and about, get contacted. The one correlation I'd like to make on the RPD, that was what we experienced in 5 shifts in Riverton. So I put this, so you look at these side by side. A lot of the calls are kind of similar, but we did in 5 days what we did in an entire month in Shoshone. And when I say 5 days, that's 5 shifts, not 5 entire days. So that's half of a day. We did in Riverton almost exactly what we did in Shoshone. Very similar types of calls, but you see the problem. I like to think of law enforcement as a community, and our close-knit community is Fremont County, which includes Lander, DuBois, Riverton, Shoshone, and Pavilion, Hudson. And I firmly believe that a lot of our citizens that live in Shoshone also work in Riverton. So they are impacted by the current atmosphere in Riverton right now. And so I do feel that we have, as a good neighbor, the community helps each other, and we are trying to help. However, we're trying to find better ways to help than just sending our officers over there one at a time, because the workload and the hours starts to take a toll. And we have stuff, as you can see in Shoshoni, that we need to take care of, and sometimes we need 2 officers here. So we are working with our Fremont County DUI team. The multi-jurisdictional team is the appropriate term that we formed with Lander, Riverton, Shoshoni, and Fremont County Sheriff's Office. And so that team was designed to be able to go where we're needed, when we're needed, as a collaborative team. And so some of the things that we've done is we've reshifted some of the focus areas to Riverton to provide assistance as a team. It's not just Shoshoni helping, it's all of us coming together and helping a neighbor in need at those times. These are different than working shifts. This is a law enforcement presence. It is a force multiplier for the officers that are working in Riverton. By having us there, we're not responding to these calls necessarily, but by having us, the results and the stats have shown that within 1 hour of our arrival in Riverton, the call board goes from 9, 10 calls, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then it stops. I think most people, when they see us out there, they're like, have known that people stop breaking. It's a miracle. It's really weird that, when there's cops around, people don't tend to break the law. And that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to find a different, more productive way to do this without burning out our officers. And of course, it's all volunteer, but I do know that Riverton is appreciative of the help. I know the people of Riverton, the good citizens of Riverton, are generally appreciative of all the assistance they can get. And I do think we can make a more meaningful impact without burning out our officers.
I do know Mayor Hancock passed on me to pass on to you and our PD to appreciate the helping hand that Shoshoni PD has given Riverton. He said it's much appreciated.
Well, I'm not going to, go into explicit detail, but I've received messages on short notice, and I have personally gone over to Riverton to assist because it was that dire that they needed help.
No.
And I'm not going to say no if I can help them. So, but this, I think, will be a better way to handle this in the future going forward until they can get back up to where they need to be for themselves. And that's what that multi-jurisdictional task force is meant to do, is basically overwhelm an area with law enforcement presence. Not necessarily handling the calls, but just the visual nature of it. Kind of like when you see a trooper on the highway, everyone's flashing their lights, everyone slows down for that 1 mile until they speed back up.
But sometimes they're sneaky. They'll run in pairs, and you'll see one 5 miles down the road.
Guessing you know that from personal experience.
I wouldn't know, I'm guessing. Yeah.
So that's all I got. Any questions or? What's that?
Yeah, please, comment, please do.
I used to live in a little town. Well, first, I'm Janelle Kushevsky. I'm the wife of Fred Ellis. I lived in a little town in the Mojave Desert called Johannesburg. And we used to have a lot of trouble with cars zooming through and that kind of thing. And one of the things that actually helped, and one of the CHP officers actually was very thankful to me, we had an old broke down car on the property, and I painted it black and white. Didn't put nothing on the side of it besides just the colors. And people would slow down and then they'd speed up and he'd be on the other end of town waiting for them. So that's an
Seems like
idea.
entrapment.
Not exactly, because it didn't have any markings. It was just the colors.
Yeah.
It was art. But it's an idea.
I don't know if it's
Thank you.
but I read a deal where they said that they're down to like 6 officers that are able to respond at this time.
I don't think I'm not a fan, and that's why I was not specific.
Oh.
And I don't think it does any good to give numbers exactly. There's a problem. We're looking at solutions to address the problem, and we're coming together as a community, as a team in Fremont County to facilitate their assistance until they can fix the problem. So I'll defer on commenting about that aspect.
It's as in Shoshoni uh, tore down the old downtown, all the old buildings that were unsafe and stuff like that. We had help from Fremont County and Riverton and, you know, everybody sort of pitched in to help. It's sort of the same spirit.
Oh, we're just trying to find more inventive ways to do it than just sending officers, I guess, and, you know, council, like throwing money at a problem is not necessarily gonna fix the problem. Throwing officers to fill shifts isn't addressing the core issue. There's a better way we can probably handle this, and that would be to lower the amount of calls volume. That helps with burnout. And that's what we're trying to do. In a different way.
Cause Riverton's near 11,000 people now, aren't they? Relatively close.
Yeah,
You-
probably any given time, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 people that come into the community for work and stuff like that during. That live in the perimeter, periphery of Riverton. To go shop, Walmart, everything else, so just like we swell to 1,000 people when school's in full session and stuff like that. It's, you know, I'm sure.
Well, I think their base population's near 11.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
greater with
Yeah,
all the people that are there.
Yeah,
during
right.
working
So,
hours.
so what you're saying, it could be 15 at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some non-government related dealings with a couple of those Riverton officers, and god dang, they were nice people, just good quality people, it seemed.
They are, and they've been through a lot, so.
Yeah.
Anything else, chief?
That's all I got.
Just there again, Mayor Hancock, and I've gotten many pauses recently about our PD and how we're doing, even from people that's received tickets. But no, I mean, it's I think our PD is doing a great job here in Shoshoni. And I'm real proud to have every one of our officers, and Jeff, it's great to have you part of Team Shoshoni also.
Watch, you know, I've already taken 2 selfies with people who get on my ticket, so. Never had that before. It's been interesting.
But there, yeah, I mean, it's but we got you, chief, you put together a real good team of officers that are doing many things to protect our municipality. Even got some good comments from Casper. I know the modernization we've done within our PD is I think for safety and helping the officers do their
I
job.
think you can ask Jeff about that from his perspective.
E-citations are the way to go, and it's so much easier.
Jeff, could you please step up to the mic? That way we can have a recording.
I personally feel the officer safety of being able to do the tickets and citations much quicker. It just makes the whole process more streamlined and just safer for everybody. Less time with somebody pulled over. It's pretty slick. I like it.
No, appreciate it. And that's coming just from other departments.
Oh, yeah, I mean, literally on calls before with the sheriff's department, there'd be one guy that would be sitting there
Yeah,
writing tickets while the other 2 deputies are trying to sort out whatever happened. And I mean, it tied up one officer for half an hour. So this is the way to go.
you bet. It's I know I was talking to was the captain or Casper PD, has more than one captain, but I talked to the captain in the Casper PD, and we talked a little bit about what we had going on in Shoshoni. He was pretty impressive. How many people live in Shoshoni? How many officers? And you got, yeah, but I said that we support our PD and we got a good group of guys pushing forward. Yeah,
Nope, I sure enjoy it and I appreciate it.
thank you.
Jeff, while you're up there, I got questions for you. Yes, sir. Bob said, you're teaching CPR class at high school. Is that going to any other first aid classes other than just plain CPR?
So what I'm trying to work out is how we're gonna do it. So it's gonna be through HSI. I've got to get certified as an instructor. There's already another individual there, Max. I can't remember his last name at the moment, but he's also certified. So we kind of tag team teaching the staff plus the senior class before they graduate is the way it was explained to me.
Max Mills,
Max Mills, yes, sir.
okay, athletic director. Okay, and you're doing driver's ed, then I read someplace you're doing a class on military or history or,
Possibly military science, but that'd be next year. They're gonna just try to kind of let me ease my way in this year, it sounds like, but next year they're wanting me to teach a class of some sort.
so is that like ROTC?
I have no idea. I'll let you know when I find out, though.
Okay, just
So
wondering.
I'm not, I didn't come from a military background. I came straight out of college into law enforcement, so I'm not sure. We might have to modify it a little bit on how we want to do stuff. Maybe I could do something more towards criminal justice.
Okay,
We'll see where we go from there.
just wondering.
Yep.
Nice meeting you, thank you.
Thanks.
Anything else, chief? Tammy, you got anything you'd like to bring up?
Nope, I got nothing.
Well, I think that the whole fireworks deal that we did worked out pretty well. I don't know of any catastrophes. There was a lot of compliments for us restricting it to the shooting range and a lot of complaints because we restricted it to the shooting range. But
I can say that the people, some of the comments from the people that were out there from the limited time that I was there said, wow, we weren't never like this idea, but now that we're here, it's kind of cool. We're all getting together, lighting up fireworks, they were barbecuing and doing stuff. So there was actually some people that enjoyed that community aspect of all being at the fire range, shooting them off. Around town, there was a couple people that had less than, just say, we're not happy with the council and even more unhappy with me showing up. So between 9:20 and 9:50, we had a lot of fireworks going around town. We chased them down, shut them down. And then after that, I will give everybody else credit. We pretty much complied in town. It wasn't going off at midnight that night. Now we had some other people light them off throughout the week after 4th of July, but there's gonna be both sides, but I think overall that most people actually found that that was actually kind of a cool event.
that's how it used to be when I moved here. It was a pretty good time out there. I know fireworks out at the shooting range, but I think it was all right. It was a safety was
And they put out
was the
fires.
driving factor.
And when the fire would start, they were out running around, stomping out the fires before they could spread. So they were self-maintaining
Oh, good.
and took care of the property, picked up the trash. So it was actually pretty well this year.
Well, I had a daughter and a granddaughter out there. They had a good time. There's people barbecuing and
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of camaraderie.
Competition.
Yeah.
Friendly competition, I assume.
I had 3 mortars tied together and let them all at once.
And then the other deal is we were at had the boys' birthday party at the park, and so I actually spent some time just sitting there, and I think our public works has done a nice job of keeping it real nice. And it was pretty neat because there was people traveling through, just families stopping and there was multiple people stopping by, letting their kids burn off steam in the couple hours we were there. So I wanted to give a thanks to our public works, and when we do get our swings put in there, I think that'll be a great addition. But it's I thought it was nice to see that people traveling through to have this place offered where their kids could play and be safe. So that's all I had.
Bob, do you have something?
I had fireworks down my list, but, where is the process on the bids for the streets to be repaired, for the cracks to be sealed?
I have not spoken with Mike this week. I've been kind of jumping around. He's been jumping around. I know he submitted and called a request for a bid to be submitted.
Okay.
I don't know if he's received it, so I don't want to.
That's my question.
But what I can tell you though is I will check tomorrow
Okay.
and I'll get with you tomorrow.
That part is, the pothole at the Credit is getting bigger.
But we have a budget for some asphalt and I think we can get a public works and I'll get that addressed.
Yeah, it's just, it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
I agree with you. I drive a really short car. It's really making me drive someplace. Sometimes I.
Park on the other side by the weed.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mike?
Hmm.
Well, couple things Rock Park. I would we may not be able to get at all that till next spring, but we may get the some. I would like to put out a bid and see for contractors. To see what we can do. We may end up having to get an engineer to review our specs that we put out, make sure we're following everything. So we may have a potential to have a little engineering cost in on that. But I know asphalt, I think might be able to get out of September. Construction, we may be able to get it this fall, or may have to wait till next spring. We probably gonna have to, it's on a septic system. So we're probably gonna have to, we may have to remove the tank that's in there and replace it with another one. That was recommendation. It's a cement tank they have in there. And it was full of dirt and a lot of stuff. We may be able to, but what it appears it's leaking. They put a bunch of water in it. And so it's supposed to leak out the top, but it leaked out the bottom. So I don't know.
So do we have a master design for, quote, the idea of how that's gonna end up? Because I haven't seen it. For the park,
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
okay,
so it needs to be put out to the public saying, you know, these are our ideas. And right now, I haven't seen a thing.
Yeah, so the bid that was submitted didn't have a design, it had a basic conceptual plan that we would have to put into an actual design. That we have, that's what I believe what we would do with the contractor, but we might need to have an engineer to oversee that, to produce that, to be able to look at.
I think we ought to get some public input on saying, you know, this is what our tentative idea is right now, but you know, what would you like to see instead of having just the five of us saying this is what we want?
but we have a conceptual that we put in that we got a grant for. It involves another shelter, 20 to 40, similar to we have, and repair the current shelter. It is putting a handicap accessible bathroom in there. We have a parking area. We're gonna be carrying, you know, where the old basketball court was and tennis court. We're gonna be taking down the fence. That's gonna be covered into a parking area. Then part of the other is gonna be probably gravel. We are gonna install 10,000 square foot of sod. Put a sprinkler system. That was the design that we submitted to the state.
That was the narrative that was submitted to the state.
Yeah.
What we were gonna do. Not exactly how.
That's a good
Right.
word, narrative, good word.
Right.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah,
I think we could work on
Story.
something like that. And put that so it's visual. and
Yeah.
That's what you're asking.
Something like that. You put it in the newsletter that you get with
You
your
bet.
water bill, because right now, I'd say 99.9% of the people in town are ignorant of the plan, period, is.
I agree.
And there's no transparency. We don't do that.
Well, yeah, won't be, I mean, I agree, and I try to pride myself on everything that we do. Putting it on our websites for people to be able to consume at their leisure. However, we don't have that beyond what's been talked about, and that's what I think we need to do next, and that's what the mayor was wanting to do, is get exactly that point of putting something together so we can look at it, and actually, this is what we want.
so that may,
We don't have to-
that may
Yeah, I'm
involve a
just
little
saying,
bit of
it needs to be public.
engineering.
Yeah.
That may involve a little bit of engineering, make sure
That's
that
fine with me.
everything,
Just
that's what
needs to
I'm
be made
talking about.
Public.
Just out of curiosity about Rock Park, does that include the baseball diamond that's down there?
We're not, that's included in what we call Rock Park. What we're doing down there is a trailhead, Rock Park trailhead for the rails to trail.
I see.
And so that's we're making a trailhead. So people that use it, some people, it's predominantly motorcycles, side by sides, four-wheelers. And it gets a lot of traffic between Shoshoni and Riverton.
Right.
So this gives a place where they can come and picnic. And that's, but the local community can use it for the same thing. I mean,
Awesome,
you
awesome.
can go down there and have picnic, but it's designed for a trailhead. For the rails to trail between Shoshoni and Riverton.
Perfect.
That's the primary goal intent for this, and that's what the grant we received was for.
Okay, awesome. I just have one more question about there, one more, I don't know, situation. As much as I respect law enforcement, which I really do, it's totally awesome, 2 thumbs up. The security down there, because to me, it looks like, for lack of a better word, somebody or some buddies had trashed it out.
Sure.
Are we going to have, not now, of course, but maybe when it all gets all complete, do you think we would be able, the city of Shoshone would be able to hire a security team and security
Probably
force?
not.
Okay,
but I have a plan.
Yeah, we have a plan.
okay, because I just hate to have all that money put into it and have these people come down and destroy it.
That was my concern from the very get-go.
So, yeah.
Far out of sight, out of mind, but we have cameras that we put up there to
Awesome,
guard
awesome.
that. Kind of like we've done it with the rest of our investments around town, we put up cameras to try and shield from vandalism.
Right. Yeah, because that holds a special place for me, because I helped build that down there. So, way back in like 87, 88. And I just hate to see it destroyed. Yeah, I'd like to see it pristine again, So with the security, if possible, but cameras would be good too. So,
Well, no, and then we have a much more vigorous law enforcement presence than we had back then.
mhm,
The cameras, what we can put up there, that was one of the reasons it was decided not to try to, the tennis courts and the basketball court, not to do anything. That's one of the reasons we built the basketball where we did.
perfect.
But
perfect.
because of those concerns, that works pretty good, but it would, but there's a demand. I mean, we worked with Fremont County
Mhm.
Rec Department and worked also with the Shoshone Rec Department to make this happen. But we had a lot of support from Riverton side of things, so that really gets a lot of use.
Mhm.
And we have our nice facility and here in the middle of town that has a lot more security, but yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
My understanding too, and I could be wrong, is that back in the day that was done with grant money.
Mhm.
So that land has to stay designated for outdoor recreation use. It can't be repurposed unless all that grant money is paid back, so.
The other option is on that, and you are correct, is if the town makes another park to take that place.
Yeah,
So if you put one north of town, for example, to take that, so you could develop that,
right.
if you did an equal area.
So, yeah, but I don't know what else would be done with that. We're down there, so I was just saying to Fred, it's like, so we're gonna make it nice. It's gonna have to be outdoor recreation use. I mean,
Yes.
that's the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
Because of all the way it was done back then, it needs to stay that way.
And I think and it'll be multi-purpose.
Right.
It'll all be outdoor use. It can
Right.
be multi-purpose. The local citizens will get to use that, so.
More than just kids partying and riding 4-wheelers and.
Yeah. But anybody have, I want to sort of move, anybody have any? We're not voting on it, but that's sort of what I intend to do if anybody thinks that, enough. Shouldn't do that. putting ideas, but anyway, that's what I'm sort of, I may like to, may get a little help for a drawing if we need to from an engineering firm or something like that, and try to make sure we put our bid together properly to make sure we're meeting all the codes and stuff like that. I may need a little help to do that, to get the bid put out properly. We try to get an engineering firm in, but we really didn't get any interest, but for a lot of money. If we pay enough money, we get, you know what I mean? We don't have budget for it. So wanted to touch base on that. It's we also hear Thursday down at Fire Hall, city, town center down there, there's gonna be a forum, Republican Party primary election candidate forum. So they'll have the state senators, the two individuals run for state senate that represents our district, the two that's running for house. And we'll also have two that's running for county commissioner. It starts at 6 o'clock Thursday here in Shoshoni. And so I'd like to invite everybody to come down, and that's put on by the Republican
Women's.
hosted by the League of Women Voters of Fremont County. Fremont County Republican Party and Republican Women of Fremont County. And Democrat Party is what it says on the flyer. That's out for that, so. But I know, but anyway, it would be good to see a good turnout if you want to take a look at that, who's trying to get your vote. It'd be a good thing to show up. I don't know how it's going to be ran. I don't know if the audience gets asked questions. I have no idea how they're running it. I haven't been told the format of what they're doing. They just call it a forum. And make an assumption that they're going to have questions from the moderator and then maybe questions from the audience too. I don't know how that's gonna work. No, they haven't told me, so. In any event, I wanted to announce that's coming. One other thing I want to talk about, that's one reason I have Dave here, asking to be here, is do we wanna put out for either auction or seal bid like we did town hall, the old town hall? I think we may have a little interest if we do that, but I think we should try to maybe I'll do that.
My feelings are that building is sitting empty, is decaying every year. The quicker we get rid of it, the better.
So that would be affirmative. You think we ought to do that then?
What are the terms gonna be? Waste our advertising time and then renege on the deal and
Well, there again, one thing if we want to put a minimum on it, we can do that. But if whatever we do, I think we ought to put it out for sale, see what we get, or even do a town we could hold a live auction. Or do we want to sell it all in one piece, or just sell that corner and break it into two pieces, break it into three? We can break it into three pieces, or sell it all with one. But I think I know there's some interest in buying it. I think we ought to see what we can. See if we can get a reasonable bid.
But we gotta quit dangling it out there and then pulling it back when somebody's not happy. Let's get rid of this stuff. Or it deteriorates to the point we can't.
Yeah, but would you suggest to sell it for $20,000?
It's better than us having to take care of it later.
I'd be against selling for $20,000,
No.
but, I'm just, but I think we see what's out there. I think there's a chance we could get a bid that would be reasonable.
Your reasonable and my reasonable may not be the same, so I'm confused.
Well, we can figure out how we want to put it. We can reject or accept if bids. If you reject the high bid, then you reject all of the bids. If we're offering to sell this with no economic development, we're gonna sell it. We advertise it right. If we agree that we want to take, if the governing body agrees they want to take the highest bid regardless of what it is, we can darn sure do that. I mean,
It needs to be in writing.
well, yeah, I mean, we can elect to do that. Or, and we can, we got options. That's why I'm bringing it up.
So my points of view is this: we have the land across from the Centennial Park, that lot. It's covered with gravel. Is that one piece of property we're trying to sell? You said 3 sections.
Well, I said that could be, there's a couple lots over there.
There's
There's lots where the
library,
library PD, yeah.
and then empty lot between the building itself and the PD. So I count basically 4 sections.
You could break it into 4 if you wanted.
Okay.
I was considering the PD library to the town hall. Town hall is one. The lots across it, I was considering another one. But
Okay.
and town hall, and I'm saying there's 3.
Okay, so fine,
And-
I'll go with 3 bids, get it done.
Sell it with, do we want to move the old PD? Do we want to move? I don't know. Another question is the old library could be turned into housing and move that. It's about $5,000 less than the price I got to move that.
Well, we requested a basic schematic and estimate to convert the housing for council to look at. We haven't received that yet.
Right. So, I think that might be an option to repurpose the old library. Because actually the bones on it are pretty good. It's a modular, not a double wide. It's 3-4 years ago, I crawled underneath it and looked around. It's pretty good.
Well, if we invited Dave Parker, do you want to share your?
Yeah, I do.
Yes,
I think one of the trailers that are on there should be considered to be left there as part of the purchase. Because if anybody buys it, has any chance of starting a business there, they're going to want a manager on site.
okay,
And I think that would enhance the sale.
okay.
And moving the stuff is easier said than done. If you're going to move it, you need to move it. Not move it when you get to it. You need to move what you're going to move and leave what you're going to leave. Because that's
Mhm.
kind of how we were going to sell the city hall, but it took us 1.5 years to get out of there. So it made it a little hard to get that sold. It's just a lot of traffic, things going on. People were reserved about being in the middle of your business center while you were actively in it. I think they were just shy. I think if it had been empty and been marketed, we might could have got it sold. I just think some of the special requirements that the properties have needed to support the town of Shoshone have restricted the ability to sell it. That's all. Now that you're ready to sell it, I think it can be sold. If we take course of action, I'm pretty darn sure it can be sold quickly.
So you think the old library, is that the one you were?
Either
referencing?
one, I'm just saying, it would be nice to have a managerial location if somebody has any chance of buying that for a business. Because that building doesn't really support egress windows in living quarters. I mean, you're cutting concrete to make that safe to sleep in.
Library?
Downstairs in the city hall?
Oh, you're talking to the city.
No, he was.
I thought you were talking the library. I'm like.
No.
So
You could do that with your pocket knife, Chris.
Okay.
But I do think one of those trailers should be
Okay.
there available for housing for whoever buys the place, because they're gonna want a business manager, and that's probably gonna be a perk they provide as part of employment.
Or both.
Or,
Think
yeah, or both,
I
or
don't
both.
know.
I mean, what the reality of moving stuff is, it's not that easy anymore. Most people, only half the people show up for work that are supposed to be there anyway. So it's real hard to get things done.
But would it, if we left both, how would that affect, you think, as an estimation?
I don't think you'll get all that they're worth if you have a purpose for one of them.
We do.
We do.
So if you got a purpose for one and you got a reasonable moving cost, move that one
And do it now.
and do it now. Get it out of the way, get the ground level. And then we need to get it marked off so people can have visualize the property we're going to sell. I've got legal descriptions drafted. Ordered those a couple months back, so we can actually describe what we are selling. And then we just move forward, just like you're planning on. Advertise it, get people aboard. Hopefully we'll get somebody that qualifies for economic development. We might be able to pick that bid and get some matching state money, or take the offer that's most suitable. Either one will make it move on down the road. Because it's gonna get cold pretty quick in the fall.
Yeah.
We'll be back to heating bills. Bob is right about that.
Question, another question. We probably ought to it needs probably re-roofed. I did some investigating. I had 2 roofers look at it, and they said it looked like it probably needed re-roofed. I thought it'd been recently, but recently might have been 20 years ago, because that building's over 40 years old.
Well, Bob had a question. What if they tear the building down?
Mm-hmm.
Put the roofing costs in a trust account available if needed to complete the transaction.
Okay.
And then make them put the roof on before they get reimbursed.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't burn your money just, with somebody said, well, I don't want to
Correct.
build, I'm tearing it down. Well, that's a
Sure.
legitimate concern. So I think that's what you'd want to do.
Okay.
Good idea.
What's your perspective on if it goes out for bid, do you put a minimum bid on it? So it was brought up, what's a reasonable offer? 50%, 100%, 10% of the.
I'd say a good offer would be 65, 70% of appraisal. Acceptable offer will be up to you guys, might be 50%, Mike, I don't know. It gets kind of dicey right there. You're the fiduciaries for the city. That's when you have to pick and choose the best option for the town of Shoshone. Because these are all long-term decisions anyway. I mean, they're not just for tomorrow. They're gonna affect Shoshone for 5 or 6 years in a positive way if they're done right. But that's my nickel's worth on it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any questions?
So if 70% of appraised value would probably be a responsible bid.
I think so, Joel.
Okay.
Because this election has got all purchases kind of wonky. Nobody has any idea what's going to go on. They don't have any idea if interest rates are going to stay elevated, and they're hanging on to their money, and pretty tight like that. And they're kind of just waiting to see how this race is going and see how it finalizes. And then you'll see the economy get going again. But until then, it's really pretty iffy. And people just are uncertain, and it doesn't help sell things. But there are some people with money in this county that are observing that building, some people in Casper that have good ideas, some people in Worland that have good ideas. And if we had a good enticing ad, I believe we could get somebody show up with a decent bid.
Sealed bid or an open auction? What do you think? Make any difference or? Half done one, six the other, they probably both got advantages.
I'd have to, I'm gonna pipe up there just
Okay.
because going through the statute, but I think it has to be a sealed bid for property. I'll double check that. I don't think it's an option to, I'll double check it, but when I was just reading it, it said sealed.
Marshall, in our real estate classes, they said if you run an open auction like that, you've got to be licensed in real estate and as an auctioneer
Right, I'm just saying, when
Okay.
I was reading the state statute
Mhm.
for selling public.
for
property,
municipality. Mhm.
Yeah, I think it said sealed, I'll double check.
Well, sealed bids are clean.
Yeah.
Yep.
You are, by the way, on sealed bids, you're going to shred those bids and let those submitters know that they weren't they
Yes,
weren't
correct.
accepted.
Not even looking at them.
That way, nobody's gonna, it-
Yeah, I'm not even looking at them.
probably the same thing even with Mike, so it isn't redistributed anywhere. So everybody has a fair chance on the next bid.
Sure, well, we've talked about mics and open.
Well, yeah, but memories are short, you know,
Okay.
there's a lot of numbers in the world.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, any other questions? Thanks, guys.
so I think that's all. Anybody got any questions on tonight? Or suggestions, what we're,
So remember a while back, we, rather than doing an actual appraisal, we had a market analysis done, which is, don't know,
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
that'll-
do we need,
I don't know if they'll sell that if that meets state statute.
that's what I was
We may have
asked,
to do an actual,
appraisal and how,
Yeah.
how current does that appraisal need to be?
I'll take a look, but I don't think there's any actual solid guidance on the time frame. I think it's probably gonna be what people consider reasonable, but I'll double check that and see if there's any case law on it. Or if it's in the statute that says it has to be within a certain time. I don't recall seeing that off the top of my head.
That's usually lending requirements on time frame.
Yeah.
Other references are usually, what is the market activity? So if some commercial hadn't sold in 5 years, they may look back 10 years to see what a commercial building sold for when it did that. And you don't have any like comp, so it's gonna be tough to really evaluate an accurate analysis.
I wonder if we should have a workshop with all our properties laid out. I mean, or something, we should get an honest to God concrete plan on everything hammered out and get things moving.
I like your idea.
I mean, not that I'm low on another dang meeting, but
Isn't that appraisal only 2 years old?
yeah, but it didn't include the building.
Oh, okay.
It didn't
we
include.
were
the
gonna
building.
move the building. I mean, what's a building like that shooting from the hip at 20 by 50 shop? You see a lot of appraisals.
I think he's,
Are we back on the?
He's talking about town hall.
Street?
Or that too. I don't know, that's what,
We're trying to get rid of City Hall, but we can go to Fifth Street.
Yeah,
we gotta get rid of all of it, but
Well, I got that. Fifth Street's a lot less dangerous than City Hall is. I mean, there's a lot of building down
yeah.
there. There, in right person, there is a ton of opportunity. We just haven't found that person yet.
And like you'd said earlier, Councilman Zant, you're like, well, my idea where we're at and your Mayor
Right.
Highsmith, your idea, we're not on the same page apparently. We're
Oh.
not singing out of the same hymnal and that's why nothing's happening. I don't know how the best way to get us all singing out of the same hymnal and get some things.
Well,
well,
first,
what about a current appraisal?
that'd be good.
I think,
On
Probably.
everything we want to sell, and then we can sit down with, how much is that gonna run to get those appraisals?
On the City Hall, probably 3,000 or 4,000.
yeah, at least 3,000.
it's probably money well spent, it's gonna give you a real point of reference. If of any valid pricing model, because there's not gonna be comps to do that, because everything Tim has purchased, he's torn down and rebuilt new. He even had new that he tore down and rebuilt new. He's one of the few people that had a business that supported that opportunity, plus had the nerve to take the risk, which is pretty huge, and it looks like it's paying off, but it would make me nervous.
So you're already having a workshop and discuss town property, because that's what I heard you say, Jay.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, we need to get these town properties, but we're all thinking something different apparently.
That
Okay.
newspaper statement needs to be voted on before you guys put it in the paper. It needs to be clear to all of you.
Or even a consensus, if not voted
Yeah,
on, I
well,
don't know.
yeah, somebody, you need to test it on somebody and ask them, what does it say? You know, somebody that's knowledgeable in real estate, just ask them, does this say what we're thinking? I mean, there's being legal and there's being
A salesman.
effective, yeah,
Mhm.
and meeting the legal standard.
I don't
Yeah,
know. how-
Bob's right, we're not on the same page.
We just have a workshop sometime next week and get this hammered out.
I think I'm pretty free next week, if anything, anybody else is,
I'm pretty.
in the evenings, I mean.
Tuesday and Wednesday I'm full. So
I may not be free all next week.
Okay,
I'm definitely not free Thursday.
Monday?
I don't think, let me see, if we do it in the evening, I'm talking evening, because we have people that work. I
3.
Just give ourselves 2 weeks.
mean, so
Get
let
this
me,
done.
let me try to sort things out. I got,
Yeah. We can find a time whenever.
but, because I think we ought to do it in the evening.
I feel like we're kind of going at this from so many different perspectives, is why nothing's working.
But we need to get a, that's why I brought this up. We need to.
Everybody's in the sale mode, so now we're ready, we're unified. We just got to figure out how to get it sold at the best opportunity.
What's acceptable
Well,
to you, what's acceptable to you, and where's the middle
I,
ground?
I think I should reach out, because appraisals can take a while to get. I think
Yeah,
I
they
need to
can
reach
take a
out
while.
tomorrow and try to secure a company to come and appraise this property. What I think,
Which we have to sell
No.
No.
Depends how we sell it.
depends.
by sealed bid.
Okay, the question is, we tie both properties up with this
Then we do.
process, or do we get the,
So we could do a market analysis.
back to the bidding block? With the parameters, we have to clarify the parameters, or we include it in the overall process, just like the city hall. It just delays the process.
We just had them appraised, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
It's gotta be pretty close.
pardon?
I said they were just appraised 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Do we really want to put that extra money into it? and Just go by the appraisals that we had.
We can. Yeah, we did have a market analysis for town hall, if I'm correct, if we sell it to the highest bidder. If we sell it to the highest bidder, I don't think we have to, if I remember right, we don't have to have an appraisal.
So that is one of your questions to find out about.
Yeah, I'll know, it's been a while since I looked at that, but I think if you sell it to the highest bidder, you know, anything over $500, you gotta have, you know.
So we want to clean up the ad on the shop property and get it back on the bid for 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, and get it sold. And then work with the study project on town hall and figure out our game plan on that, so we're all of one mind.
Sure. I think that's,
And we might have some cash generated to cover some of the costs, you know, for some of the projects. If we
yeah,
want them
we,
sold.
we do know that the land appraised for, that was $60,000, that's 2 years ago. That didn't have a shop.
I don't see that changing. They're both on the main drag. They're both
Yep.
in good location, all the property is. And we
The
know-
one thing that site has, their It also has highway access, and that's not available on their whole ones.
When these tour buses were coming in, they're 80 strong, popping out in unison. They said it's amazing to watch the Yellowstone. They'll have 80 foreigners in them. I feel sorry for whoever has to feed them on. You probably just have to tell them, you're getting what we're serving. They said in the Yellowstone, the 80 tourists from China jump out within 30 seconds, they're all off the bus. They all have their chest mounted bear spray. I mean, somebody make a killing on bear spray, stores. But if we ever get into tourist traffic, we're gonna get it to stop and somebody can capitalize on it. It's gonna be a good thing for Shoshone. Be some money coming through.
Yeah,
Tim's done the first step, got a great feeling for the people.
let's try to work something out. Next week, you're gone Tuesday and Wednesday, Bob, that's correct.
I need to check my calendar.
Okay.
I'll contact Kim tomorrow.
Okay,
My sister's supposed to be in town, so
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly when. She said Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I mean. Yeah, I can't answer that 100% on top tonight.
I'm thinking Monday or Tuesday, and that's we've got. I need to look. I think we agree it's all in an evening,
Yeah,
and if we come up with a date, we'll get it out, advertise it. I know what we're doing on that. I think we got a plan. I think we need to regroup and
Would suggest that anybody that's got off, tell them rewrite their bid if they want to submit it, send it in right away. And just hold it in the file,
sure.
because life gets busy and even people get intentional.
Right. I'll let Kim handle that. I don't know who the bids for sure. I'll let Kim handle that. The notify the two bidders that we did not open their bid.
Oh,
And tell them that we're gonna put it out again and resubmit.
But they can submit an offer right away. Yeah. And we'll hold it until the bid's open. Those that miss the deadline, they won't miss it the next time. They
Yeah.
shouldn't.
So.
all right, I make a motion that we adjourn.
second.
Been moved by Councilman Harkey, second by Councilman Bent, that we adjourn. Any further discussion? None being all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and opposed the same. Motion passed affirmative, 8:33.